So, Rick, we're here at Cor Carfot at the best candidate for Nephi's Bountiful. And around us are so many archaeological remains. How do you begin to assess what these remains mean? What is this evidence? Who lived here?
Well, you look for patterns. People leave patterns. They don't work in random associations of things. They leave patterns. And here, the most obvious patterns come out as either large structures like this mound off to my left, or long linear patterns of rock embedded in the earth, making some kind of a fence line or a boundary or a borderline or a defensive line. We don't know which. And so an archaeologist looks for patterns. Whether you're digging in the ground or you're searching on the surface in a reconnaissance, you look for things that stand out, that are unique, that don't belong in that particular environment. Sometimes you see individual things like a piece of pottery, potsherd, and that of course is a major statement that people have been here. Other times it's very, very difficult to see. You may find a polished rock and you say, well, look at this is a metate, or a grinding stone of some kind. They were preparing food. They were grinding grains here to make flour, to make their bread. Other times you may see a circle of embedded rocks, large, good-sized rocks, not just the typical little rocks. And with large rocks, they'd put them around their homes and their houses when they were very early on to make themselves a protected dwelling area.
So, what evidence do you see here? What kind of lives were the people leading who lived in this area?
Well, this is very interesting because what we see here is a population that is using the local resources in the hills around us. They are also growing crops here. They also have cattle, because we have a corral complex back over here that may be the same date as this. It's hard to say at this time. And they are also harvesting food out of the lagoon, which is before us. And then they have the whole maritime resources and all of the fish and different things out in the sea that are available for them for eating. So they have a tremendous diversity here available to them, especially since they're agricultural people.
Do we have any way of being able to date what we're seeing here at this site? If this were Nephi's Bountiful, could some of this material have already been here, or was it all built after?
Yes, that's what we don't know. If it was here prior to their arrival, so that it would be before the late Iron Age, or if it was after their arrival, which would be from the Babylonian period on through to the Ottoman and Byzantine times. We don't know that. Now there's a large lack of pottery on the surface, which suggests to me a fairly early, but it's just a tentative assessment. We don't know at this time. We would have to excavate in the big mound and see if we can get radiocarbon and artifacts out of there that would give us dates on this. We would have to excavate in several of the caves around here where they could have occupations, and we could find their campsites, and we could get carbon out of that for dating, and the pottery that they were in use. That sort of thing would give us the concrete evidences of people here contemporaneous with Lehi's time in the Book of Mormon. The chances of finding an actual sign on the wall in one of these caves that says, "Behold, here is the land bountiful," the first land bountiful, that's very remote for us to find. That's very difficult because most people didn't think that way.